Welcome to episode 9 of our series Back to Basics Sustainability. This episode is the start of looking at sustainability in the companies. And to start with, after having seen all the definitions in the previous episodes, we will start with ESG reporting. We will define what ESG is. A very nice topic. Stay tuned. In the previous episode of this series of Back to Basics videos, we have seen that a regulatory framework is being put in place for companies to report on their sustainability KPIs, key performance indicators. This framework is known as ESG. ESG stands for Environment, Social and Governance. It is, at its core, a corporate governance and investment framework. That means that companies that adopt ESG principles consider, measure and report, and hopefully work to improve, the environmental, social and governance aspects of their business, not only taking its financial considerations such as profit, expenses, growth, accounting into account. This has, of course, an impact on investors who will possibly check the company's environmental, social and governance attributes alongside the financial health before investing in the company. As just mentioned, ESG stands for Environment, Social and Governance. This corresponds to the 3 pillars of sustainability and is in line with the United Nations 17 Development Goals Charter that we saw on the 7th episode of the 3rd season of the Back to Basics videos. So first, the environmental factors. They involve how much an organization considers the protection of natural resources. These factors include the environment, climate change, energy consumption and use, and its overall impact. Example of those factors include air and water quality, biodiversity, deforestation, energy performance, carbon footprint, including greenhouse gas emissions, natural resource depletion, waste management and pollution. Secondly, the social factors. They address how an organization treats people, including these examples: community relations, including the organization's connection and impact on the local communities in which it operates and serves, but customer satisfaction also, data protection and privacy policies and efforts, and also the efforts to fund projects or institutions that would help poor and underserved communities globally. Regarding the employee diversity, equity and inclusion, sometimes mentioned as DEI, employee engagement and relations, health and safety, and also human rights, including child labor and slavery, and labor standards. And finally, governance. Governance examines how a corporation policies itself, focusing on internal systems, controls, and practices to maintain compliance. Governance focuses on transparency, industry best practices, organization management, and associated growth initiatives. Examples of governance include the company leadership, the board composition, including diversity and structure, corruption and bribery, donations and political lobbying, executive compensation and policies, tax strategy, including audit committee structure, internal controls and regulatory policies, whistleblower programs. Companies won't report on the same topics depending on their sector. For instance, a bank will have no impact on biodiversity. In short, and to conclude this very short episode, ESG looks at how the world impacts a company or investment, whereas sustainability focuses on how a company or investment impacts the world. The distinction is subtle, but important. In the next videos, we will investigate each of these three pillars more in detail. As mentioned in the introduction to the third season of Back to Basics videos, SAP are helping the world run better. Since its creation, this is what drives SAP forward. Of course, sustainability is a crucial topic, and SAP have not only been involved in it for a long time, but is very active in it. Data is vital to understanding the world around us. It must be stored, managed, made available, and used appropriately. SAP offers solutions and technologies within the business technology platform to cover these needs, as we've seen in the previous episodes, mainly in Season 1 and 2. This Season 3 tries to make a synthesis around sustainability. We will see all this in more detail in the upcoming episodes of the third season. Thank you for having followed us so far, have understood ESG, and now in the next episode we will go a little bit deeper and explain and talk about the E in ESG. See you later!